welcome back to another quick tips video. Today I'm going to be teaching you different techniques in blending. I've got a lot of messages asking different things about how to blend in your palette, how to blend on paper, and how to go from a darker color to a lighter color without getting funky patterns. So that's what I'm going to be helping you with today. To start off, I'm just going to go through my materials. I have Arches watercolor paper, a scrap paper that I'm going to be using, my Winsor & Newton watercolors. My paintbrush is Princeton Snap Brush. I'm using a size 16 for now, and my water and my paper towel. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is how to go from one color to the next with a seamless blend on your paper. So to start, I'm going to take my pink and I'm just going to make a swatch of my pink color, not using too much water. And I'm just going to move it gradually down the paper a bit till about there. Then I'm going to wash off my brush and I'm going to take my blue, which is going to be my second color, and I'm going to bring it over here and I'm going to gradually move that down as well. Now it's pretty dark blue, and if you see, it's starting to pool a bit right there. I don't want that much paint or water on here because then it's just going to run into that one. So I'm just going to quickly take off some as I continue to move it down into the pink. And ultimately what you want to do is create a kind of a purple in the middle, because the two mixed together creates purple. I'm going to go back to my pink, just get a bit more of my pink and continue to move it down and just blending it in the middle. Okay, and as you see, as I lift my paintbrush, there's kind of a lot of water there, and that could end up with you could end up with a interesting pattern, which you might not want for a seamless blend. So again, I'm just gonna dry off my brush and pick up some of that water as I blend it around. Went back into my blue. Just slowly move it around. Just kind of keep doing that until you get the blend you want. And there you go. So that's moving from one color to the next with a seamless blend. Again, just watch your water control, and if you're having trouble with that, refer back to my last video. It's all about water control and how much water to put on your brush and little tips that you can do to help with that. Okay, so that's blending from one color to the next on paper. Other people have asked me how to make a new color in your palette. So my paints are dry right now, except for the pink. I use the tube paints. I squeeze them in here in my palette and then I let them dry overnight. I find they last a lot longer that way. So when I'm starting off painting, I always wet them. I don't really brush my brush off. You can just put water in there. So I'm gonna mix, let's say we'll do this purple. So I'm gonna make this purple. I'm gonna take my pink and I'm gonna put it on my palette like that, wash off my brush, dry it a bit, but not too much, put it in my blue, and I'm just gonna mix it on my palette like that. And then depending on the color you want, you could add more blue or more pink. These are actually the same two colors mixed here, but this one has more pink and this one has more blue. So if I wanted that color, I would just keep adding a bit more pink. And that's how you mix colors in your palette. And then you can paint with them, which is great because if you don't need a whole lot of colors to paint with watercolor. I say you could get a good 5 of good quality paints and then create a bunch more colors. So that's how you blend two colors in your palette. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is going from a light to a dark. So a lot of people have asked me on my floral tutorials, when I say do a light wash of something, and then you go back in and you darken the middle so it looks like there's shadow. They're ending up with these kind of funky patterns in the middle, which they don't like. And so I'm going to just show you quickly what they're talking about. So I'm doing a light wash, which means I have more water on my brush than paint. And see, I just kind of did that there, and then I wipe it off just so I don't have too much paint. I want a bit more color than that. Okay, so I'm going to create my quick peony shape. Like that. And now what the problem is that when people are going back in with their darker color, the first petals have already started to dry. People are saying they're still wet, but you know what? They might not be wet enough, because when you add more water on top that has more water than that's more water than that's already on your paper, you're gonna get this kind of effect. Like here, I'll show you here, I'll put water on my brush. It does that kind of effect, which people aren't too fond of. So what I recommend is, before you go back in with your darker color, I would just lightly, with not a lot of water, just with your wet brush, go back over your petals again, just to make sure that they're all the kind of the same amount of wetness before you add the dark color, okay? So I'm just gonna go over them quickly. Also depends on the paper. Some paper dries a lot quicker than others, so you either have to work fast or you can use this technique where you just kind of wet it all over again. Okay, so now they're the same amount. There's the same amount of water that we're putting down, and that's already there. And so when it dries, it should blend quite nicely. Like that. Okay? Now I'm going to just show you quickly again, but I'll show you what the problem is. So say, I'm just going to do a petal here. Okay, and that's wet right now, but I'm just going to leave it for a second. Okay, let it dry for just a second. So it's starting to dry. It's a little wet, but it's not completely wet. I'm just going to show you what happens if you add too much water. Now if you see here, you see a distinct kind of line between the dark part and the light part. That means that this is already too dry and you've just added more water. So that's the problem that you're having, is when a petal already starts to dry. So like I did here, just wet the whole area again. So if this happens and you notice this right away, to fix this, what you can do is you can just drag that dark color over the whole petal again. It'll be darker, it won't be a light wash. You can take up some of it with your paper towel if you like. Just run your brush over it again, and then go back into your paint. Try and get that dark color to blend it. And when you see these kind of like, they're almost like spider vein marks, that's how you know when you're gonna have a good blend, when it dries. Like that. So yeah, there are 3 tips of how to blend different colors and going from dark to light, and I really hope those tricks work for you. Let me know in the comments below if you liked the video and if it was helpful, and if you have any other suggestions on things you'd like to learn or things that you're struggling with, please let me know, and I will hopefully be able to get around to doing a video for you soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram for more, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.